But I'm gonna kind of talk about two trailers that I've seen recently, and one that recently just got released. So let's talk about the first one. That's the big one. Let's talk about Godzilla versus Kong. So first thoughts, when watching this trailer is that the effects look great, like they did in the first Godzilla movie and in the Godzilla King of Monsters, but it's probably going to be a lot like Godzilla King of Monsters, in my opinion, how, like, the effects are awesome and the action was really great and very entertaining, but, like, the story and the characters are just kind of non-existent. They're just kind of there just to kind of push the story forward and deliver exposition, which is very disappointing. But, like, I mean, it's a Godzilla movie, so, I mean, I'm not going to expect Citizen Kane or anything, but, I don't know, just a little bit more. I feel like the first Godzilla movie had a little bit of that with Bryan Cranston. I mean, again, that movie's not perfect, far from it, and I think what they did with Bryan Cranston's character is kind of stupid, because it's Bryan Cranston. If you know what happened to his character, you know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, so, I mean, the characters look the same. I mean, they have there's some quality actors in here. I mean, you got Kyle Chandler, who I think is incredibly underrated. I mean, Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights. He's also probably one of the really good reasons why the first season of Bloodline on Netflix is really great. He's probably the main reason why that show is the way it is. Rebecca Hall is also kind of an underrated actor too. She's really great. I mean, Millie Bobby Brown, she's good. There's I mean, one of the Skarsgård dudes are in it, so I mean, there's some quality acting talent in here. It's just like they're not gonna get anything like substantial to work with. I feel like they're just doing this just to get a little bit of a paycheck and just say, oh, I'm in a Godzilla movie, which is awesome, But yeah, it's probably gonna be kind of. I mean, like, I'm going to enjoy it, I'm just going to go into it thinking that I'm just going to have some stupid fun. I probably wouldn't go see this in a movie theater, unless I was going with friends. I wouldn't actually go see this, like, by myself. It's nothing that I'm that excited for, but I have HBO Max. Like, it's not going to cost me anything other than my HBO Max subscription to watch it, so I'll check it out. I'll talk about it on this podcast probably. It's coming out in March 26th. So I'll probably check it out then, and I'll talk about it. It's directed by Adam Wingard, who when I first saw the name, I was like, oh, that sounds familiar. And it turns out it is, a familiar name. Adam Wingard is a decent directing talent in the industry, I feel like. I mean, he's a very good visual director. He directed probably one of the more underrated films of recent memory. It's called The Guest. It came out in 2014, and that movie's awesome. It's not like the greatest thing in the world, but it's a really solid, fun movie, and it's available on Netflix. So check out The Guest. It's just called The Guest. Great performance by the main actor. It's a really fun movie. I really liked it a lot. He also directed You're Next, which is another fun, interesting horror film, which I liked a lot. He also directed some shorts in those VHS horror anthology movies, which are pretty good. Not all the shorts are really good, and honestly, he kind of didn't direct the best ones in that, so yeah. He also directed that recent Blair Witch movie, which I kind of heard mixed things about, but he also directed that Death Note movie, that Netflix's Death Note, which is not a great sign, because that movie's pretty fucking terrible. But yeah, I mean, if he just goes with, like, the Pacific Rim approach for this, like, I'm here to see King Kong square up with Godzilla on an aircraft carrier, which is what I see in the trailer. So, I mean, I'm going to get what I want, and plus the final shot of the trailer was sick. So, if you just give me that, I'll be happy. So, yeah, hopefully, it doesn't let me down in that regard. It doesn't look like it's going to, but my expectations are pretty low, so I'm not going to get, like, extremely pissed off if it turns out to be shitty. But, hey, it's a Kong versus Godzilla movie. I'll be there. I'll see it. Hello there. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you're unfamiliar with this channel, this is Nerd Out Sanctuary. I'm your host, Michael. What do I talk about, you say? Well, I talk about anything nerdy. So that's movies, video games, TV shows, comic books every once in a while. Books, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Anything that I feel like talking about. I'm a huge nerd. I hope you're a huge nerd, and I hope we can enjoy our nerdiness together here. This is a full audio podcast available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, the major podcast platforms. So consider going over to those and checking out the full version of of the episode. And other past episodes, please leave me a review and subscribe on those platforms. If you don't want to do that, clipped, shorter versions of those full episodes will be posted here on YouTube. So consider subscribing and liking the videos for more to support me and future content that I will be producing in the future on nerdy stuff. So yeah, thank you, and see you on the next one.